Good morning. I just can't see the comments at the moment, so I'm just going to move this about and let's see if I can get the comments coming up. Let's see. Comments. Hello. Good morning, Bernadette. Morning, Mish. Can you see and hear me okay? Can you let me know? Lovely. Thank you, Bernadette, for that. Thank you, Mish. We'll just wait for a few people to join us and then we'll get started. Maybe not the top of your head. Right, thank God. Is that a bit better? I'm working from my room today because we've got a lot going on. Hi Teresa, hi Rebecca. So I'm using my my tablet today, so it's probably a bit different. December, what a lovely name. Thank you, Mish. Thank you, Bernadette. There's not a lot to see, to be honest, but it always helps, I suppose. Right. Teresa, welcome. Right, I'll start by telling you, if you haven't seen me before, I know I recognise some of you. Hello, Linda. Um, I I work. Sometimes I come direct, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I'll give off the information, and I'll wait for you lovely people to accept what I'm saying. Or so really, I'm the postman. I'm delivering the mail. So, if by any chance you do understand anything that I'm saying, can you write in the comments? There may be a couple of you, and then what we do is we give off a bit more information and we see where we lead to, and it normally goes that way. So, thank you for all of you that joining me from wherever you are in the world. It is freezing in Birmingham today. We did have snow this morning, but it has cleared up and now we've got rain. Carolyn, welcome. Right. Linda, I'm very sorry about your loss. I hope Mum comes through for you. We just have to see how we go. And I'm not going to hang around much more. We'll give it another minute and then we'll get going. If you are joining me today as well, I'm with you at the same time at 10 o'clock on Friday morning, South Africa. Oh, lovely. I bet it was beautiful there, isn't it? And warm. Portsmouth, I bet you it's freezing because it is freezing now. The temperatures just seem to have just dropped really quickly as well. So it's been a bit of a shock. Um, yes, hello to Tane. Thank you for joining from Australia. If for you all that's just joining, I am on this morning. I'm also on Friday morning at the same time, 10 a.m. If you want to join me again on Friday. Yeah, Bernadette, Birmingham and freezing, same as me, my love. So I'm going to carry on. That's okay, Linda. Thank you very much. Well, let's see where we're going. Okay. Right. So I've got a man stepping forward, and I know this man, this gentleman, he would have been a bit of a collector, because he's showing me walking into an antique shop and we're looking around and there's all different things, all different trinkets, and he likes all different trinkets and he's looking at the bottoms of them. So I know he would have been a bit of a collector. He likes to collect. He's saying he likes to collect antiques, and he's also mentioning fine art. And I'm getting the name. Now, I don't know if it's his name or someone connected with him, and he's giving me the name John. John. Hi, Charlene. Morning, Karen. Ka. So this man, I know that he would have liked to collect. Sounds like him. Yes, John. Okay. Right, thank you. Right then, Charlene, let's carry on a little bit and see where we're going with it. Right, so he's taking me around and I'm going around all these different things and I'm looking at all these different trinkets and he's showing me, but it's important that he looks at the bottom and he reads to see where it's come from. If it's any interest to him, then he'll have it. If not, he puts it back down, and he's showing me that. And I'm also now being taken into his home, and his home's full of all these different things. Beautiful, so much to see. I'm looking around. There's so much I can't take it all in because there's that much. And he's saying some people would have called him a hoarder. Would that make sense to you? Kath, please listen in as well. My dad's name is John. Right, Rebecca, listen. So we'll see where this goes off to. Right, okay. And he's saying to me that he he never married. So I know that is important as well. He never married. I believe there was a relationship, but he never married. And I feel that the relationship wasn't uh he's telling me that she had her home and he had his home, and that's how it went. Would that make sense to any of you? Right, okay, right. And he's also saying about, well, he's showing me a calendar and he's also mentioning about December. We're nearly in December, but December being important as well. And he's showing me that. And he's bringing me around to the 14th of December and he's circling around there. Okay. Right. And I feel, yes, that my daughter's birthday is in December. Right. Thank you. Would you understand why he's circling the 14th of December? He's also mentioning, okay, Kath. Right. Thank you. Right. He's also mentioning about his funeral would have taken place in the winter months because he's showing me everybody stood around with long coats on and being really, really cold. Thank you. Well, there is a few of you, so what I want you to do is I want you to take as much of the information as you can. If it does relate to you, just put in the comments. Sometimes we have a double link, sometimes it just goes on that way. So in the winter months, okay. Right, so we'll carry on there. We won't concentrate too much on the sit out at the moment. Um, okay. Right. He's also mentioning that he had a terrible chest. So when he says that, he's coughing and telling me he had a terrible chest. And he's saying, and this kind of weather really affected him. So I know that the colder months would have affected him. And he's showing me an inhaler, so I know he would have had a blue inhaler. Yes, Charlene. Lung cancer, thank you. Would you understand there was an inhaler? There's some kind of inhaler. Could you show me an inhaler? And he's mentioning as well, so I feel that he was a smoker because he's mentioning about the cancer sticks. And he's saying, I should have stopped them, but I didn't. And he's picking up a cigarette and he's lighting it and putting it to his mouth. And he's calling them the cancer stick. Hello, Nicholas. Yes, an inhaler. Okay, right. So we'll see what he's come here for today. Okay, right. So he's telling me that the sitter has got a big choice to make. There's a decision that the sitter's got to make, and it's not going to be an easy one, if that makes sense. It's not going to be an easy one. And he's saying about it being drawn out. So I feel like this has been a decision that's been going on for a while. It's not been a quick thing. It's been going on for a while. Something something that a decision where it's drawn out. That's what he's saying. He's saying it's been right. Okay, thank you. Right, because he's mentioning that, and he's saying about that. Although I know that right choices for yourself is very important, he's saying it doesn't always have to come from the head. It can come from the heart too, if that makes sense. And he's saying about trust your better judgment. And he's saying that everything will turn out how it's supposed to. He's also giving me a red rose for you. Red rose, he's saying, signifies something to you. So take that as well. And with that, I'm going to let him go and I'm going to leave his love with you. And thank you so much for working with me. Lovely for me. Thank you from Canada. Mm, okay. Yeah. Right. So we've got our mum coming through now. I know she's mum. And um, she's telling me she's mum. And she's got very, I'd say, like a bob, but haircut, but with a fringe. And it's quite short too. And she's not a tall build. She's quite short, and she carried a little bit of extra baggage. That's what she's telling me. She carried a little bit of extra baggage. Um, I know she would have been a very soft, caring person. I know that she suffered very much with her legs because she's telling me about her legs really tied her up. She's saying she's rubbing her knees and saying her knees were really bad. Um, okay. Right, okay. And she's also, for some reason, she's showing me a candle. So whether the candle signifies a birthday or whether the candle is somebody has lit a candle recently in remembrance of her, because yeah, and I'm feeling there's a picture next to the candle, and I feel that it's been lit in remembrance of her. Rachel McCullen, your arm's legs are bad. Karen Ball, that could be my mum. Right, okay. Mel McConnell, please listen. Let's see where we go. This beautiful lady. Right. So this lady's really, really kind. I know that. I get this really warm feeling of her. I get this comforting feeling. I feel that this lady would have been able to put everything, your problems right for you. She would have been able to um, sit down and tell you, you know, this is what you need to do and this is how you should do it. And it always seemed to work out right. So when there was a problem, you could always discuss it with her. You knew it wasn't going to be a gossip. She wasn't a gossip. She didn't like gossip. Um, you could tell her something and it would be kept with her unless you asked her told her differently. She didn't talk about other people's business. Um, okay, right. I know there's an older grandchild as well. I'm saying she's on about the teenage granddaughter. Thank you, Karen. Just listen anyway. Rachel, you've got a picture for your phone. Always go to her limit and will give you whatever. Never cross the back. Yes, team. Right, thank you. Right, because she's showing me about um, like papers and school and college work and trying really hard with the studies and sometimes actually um, making herself worry over it so much because I'm feeling that she wants to tell her that she's doing fine and that the best that she can do is good enough. And that's all that anybody expects from her because she keeps on saying about that she tries to be as good as everybody else and her good is good enough. And she's mentioning that. And she's also, right, okay, she's also mentioning the name Clive as well. She's also mentioning the name Clive. Okay, Rachel. She's mentioned the name Clive too. It's either Clive or Clyde. It sounds that way. You can't take Clive. Oh, right, your nana's dad was Clive. Thank you. Okay, there you go then. Right, she's mentioning that. And would you understand that Clive is also in spirit because she's also mentioning about that and she's saying about being reunited and being happy. She's also mentioning about the problems that she had, like because I'm feeling like there's problems around my heart, my chest area are all better now. Everything's fine, and she's healed in the spirit world. She also mentions that she's very, very close to your daughter or granddaughter, a granddaughter at this time, and she's there protecting her and urging her on. And she's telling me to tell her that she's amazing no matter what, and she needs to hear that because I feel that sometimes she doesn't quite feel that. She don't feel that she's good enough, and she wants her to know that she's always been good enough, and she always will be. I see that she's telling me that she's studying hard to do something. I haven't got that. She's also mentioning somebody and she's showing me a nurse. So whether she's studying to be a nurse or whether there's a nurse in the family, but she's mentioning about that too. I know this energy isn't very, very strong. I do feel that this lady would have been such a delicate person and she's not very pushy with coming forward. So she's just letting me go to her rather than her come to me because she's saying about there's lots of people waiting and she's being very, very caring and considerate to other people, if that makes sense. And I know that with this lady as well, she's also making me feel a little bit off balance. So whether yourself's been feeling a bit off balance or whether she did before she went into the spirit world, she was feeling off balance, because I'm feeling a little bit woozy and off balance. I know there's much love coming through for yourself. I know she's telling me about how grateful she is for the time that you put into her and the love that you gave her and showed her. And she said it was endless. I know that's important. She said that you was always very special to her. Um, she always considered you as being one of her own. So I know that was something that she wants to mention. She's she's mentioning about as well about a June, either June the name or June the month being important as well. And she's coming through with lots of love for you. She's giving you lots of love. She's putting lots of healing around the granddaughter, so she can. And she's saying she's putting her in a protective bubble. That's what she would have done if she'd have been on the earth plane. She would have put her in a protective bubble because she valued the people close to her with all her heart. And with that, I'm going to leave her, love, and thank you so much for working with me. Right, okay. Thank you very much. That sounds like a lovely message for you, Mal. Okay. Right, so we've got a younger male coming through now. Now I know this man, right, this male, he's saying, laughing when I say man, this younger male's coming through and he's showing me whether he was involved in it or whether he liked it, but he's showing me you know, the DJ turntables where there's two turntables, and doing he's doing that kind of scratching music because he's getting, and I'm getting, so I'm feeling that it was somebody who was either into that kind of music or done that music, but I feel that he did himself. He tells me that he was involved in the wrong people, he mixed with the wrong crowds, and he's saying that recreational drugs were involved a lot in his life, but it didn't stop people saying that he was still a good guy. Anybody, this young man. When I say young man, I'd say he was in his 30s, right? 30s, late 30s, middle 30s, I'd say, middle 30s. Right. Right. Would you understand, Bernadette, that he looked older because he's saying you're cheeky to me and he's laughing because he's looked saying I gave his age as older than what he is. So he looked older. He's saying that um, he would do anything. He would do anything to earn a little bit of money. Nicholas, he passed at 35. Okay. And he's mentioning as well that um, right, okay. So he's saying that there was a car accident and a car accident was involved in his passing. He was run over. Okay, thank you. Right, Bernadette, I think I'm with you, sweet. Can I work with you, please, Bernadette Connolly? Would you understand? Would you understand why he's saying to me, Bernadette, cousin, cousin? Now, would it be your cousin, or would he's mentioning about cousin? Right, Tani, please hold on as well. Not with you. Okay, thank you. Good morning, Tracy. His cousins. Thank you. Right. He's mentioning about that, and he's saying about that there was a very, very close bond. And he's mentioning about that they grew up together and they were like brothers. So I feel he's on about a male at the moment. It was your cousin who passed, okay. Right. He had an identical twin. Thank you. Right, let's see where this is going then. They're making me work today, I'm telling you that. Yes, okay. Okay. Right, he's mentioning that there was two of us. There's two of us. So I do definitely think I'm with you, Bernadette. He's mentioning there was two of us. Okay. And he's mentioning about the other brother hasn't ever got over his passing. And I'm hearing it should have been me, if that makes sense. Would that make sense to you? Hello, Mandy Sheard. Welcome to come in. Welcome to come in. And hopefully we'll get something for you or somebody you know. We're also on again at Friday, 10 a.m. I'm on again. So if you're not lucky to get a message, please join me again on Friday. Right, thank you. That's right. That's what I'm getting. And he's saying about it should have been, he's saying it should have been him. He's saying about that this concerns him because he's never really got over it and he's never made, he feels like he can't make amends for what went on that evening, if that makes sense. I'm not asking him what, I'm not going into that, that's private. He's saying, but his brother's feeling that he can't make amends. And he's saying about being in the wrong place at the wrong time. If we hadn't have been there, then it wouldn't have happened. That's what he's mentioning. I want to get on with as many messages as I can this morning. So what evening? See, I'm already opening, it's bedtime. Yeah. Thank you, Bernadette. So I'm just going to go on with the message and give you what I'm getting. But he's mentioning about a watch face being smashed. A watch but with the face smashed. I don't know if that was his or what, but he's showing me a watch with a broken face. Sorry if you can hear the background. My father-in-law's not too good at the moment, and he's got a terrible cough. Okay. Right. So I don't know whether in the early days when they were younger, they would have been called Pinky and Perky, somebody referring to him as Pinky and Perky, and he's laughing about that. I know that he had good character about him. I know that he liked to laugh in the joke. I know that although he had a drink, he wasn't a big drinker. I know that he liked recreational drugs more. He's saying I like to smoke, so we'll leave that there. Um, he's telling me that he had lots of friends and his family were very supportive of his brother when he passed, and he's saying that he can't thank the family for how they rallied around as much as they did. He's so grateful. He's saying about the contact that you have, you don't have as much contact, and he wants you to, he feels that you need to get closer and get more in contact, because he's feeling that at the moment his brother's feeling a little bit lost, and that's why he's come through, and he's worried about him. He's feeling a little bit lost, and he said, I don't like it. I don't like the thoughts that are going on in his head. So whether he's suffering with mental health or whatever, we all know how bad that is. And he's asking me to ask you to get in touch. And he's saying watch his back for him. And I know there's much love sent to you from the spirit world. And he's saying, thank you. Thank you. She'll know why I'm saying that. And tell her thank you. It meant a great deal. And with that, I'm going to leave his love. Thank you so much for working with me. Okay. So have you seen him? Would you understand that you haven't seen him as much recently, Bernadette? Because he's trying to tell me that he needs. Right. Simon Butte. As I seen your name come up, would you understand that Dad being in spirit? Simon Butte. You're welcome, Bernadette. Would you understand Dad being in spirit, Simon? Simon Butte, would you understand Dad being in spirit? Can only hang on a couple of seconds, as we don't have an awful lot of time. Grandad, okay. So would you understand, Simon, that him being like a dad to you, because he's feeling, and would you understand that him being on Dad's side? Thank you. Right, okay. Because when he seen your name come up, he said, ah, there he is. And he laughed. And he said, there he is. Oh, it does work. And he looked at me and laughed, because he needed some convincing that that he could actually communicate with you. So I feel that he was a bit of a joker. His personality is absolutely amazing. He's a bubbly person. He's um he's saying that if he had to, well, what he's saying, he didn't like discipline. So he didn't like having to tell you off if you'd done something wrong. He said he felt like it was better to sit and talk to you rather than shout, because he didn't feel that you got anywhere by doing that. Would that make sense, Simon? I'm going to change my glasses because my glasses have got the wrong ones on. Thank you. He's mentioning that he didn't feel that shouting got through, so it was easier to sit and talk. And he said he was a good lad. I could sit and talk to him and tell him what he'd done, and he would understand. And he would always listen, and he would ask questions if he was unsure of why I was having this conversation with him. And he's mentioning that. He's also showing me some kind of little box. I don't know what it is. It's a little box, and he's showing me that. So I feel that and I feel like there was something in it. And I'm almost feeling like medals or something of value, something that was valuable to him. And he's showing me that. And I'm feeling that he would have got this box out at certain occasions, and you would have gone through it and seen, and he would have told you stories about what everything meant and where it was from and whatever. And I feel that about him. He's also mentioning about walking, going on long walks together. So I feel that that would have been something that you would have done with him as well, or or whether your dad would have been done that with him as a child, because I'm feeling like I'm going out on long walks and walking around and being out, and there's lots of trees around, so I'm feeling like I'm going through like a little, either a park or a country walkway or something, and I'm feeling that. And I'm feeling like while I'm walking, I'm being told everything about the trees. This is a so and so. This is an oak tree. That's what that, and that grows like this, and this does that, and I'm being given so much knowledge, and I'm really, really interested in everything this man has to say. Can you take any of this, Simon? Right, lovely. Thank you, Simon, for that. Okay. But I'm feeling that with this man that I've got a heart, chest complaint, whether it's my heart or something like that, because he's drawing my attention across my chest, and he's mentioning that. I'm also feeling that I was, he's saying we were like best friends, and he's mentioning that about yourself, and he's also mentioning that with your dad. He's saying we were like best friends, and he's saying my boy. So I feel that and he's saying about how proud he is of the man that his boy turned into, and he turned into a true gentleman. That's what he's saying, and he's saying he done everything and more. And he said, and that's all I wanted to say to him, that he'd done everything and more. So whether your dad's question that he did enough for his dad, or yourself have, and he's saying done everything and more. I couldn't have asked for no more, and I'm truly grateful. He's sending so much love. I feel it's a little bit of a healing needed around your dad at this moment, because I'm feeling that he wants me to give him some healing. I'm feeling a bit low, not myself, and he's bringing that healing through. Um, I know he's mentioning Christmas as well, and something to do with the Christmas tree, whether that makes sense to you. Whether someone, like he's on about buying a new Christmas tree, right? So whether that's something, whether he wants to just give you validation of it's him and he's being around you, and he's mentioning that. I know there's so much love coming with him, and he's sending lots of love your way, and he's saying, keep on doing what you're doing, lads. You're doing everything right. So if you've questioned what you're doing, his granddad saying that you're doing everything perfect and well done. I'm going to leave this love with you and thank you so much for working with me. You had heart problems, lovely, thank you. Let's see where we're going. But a lady's coming through now and she's giving me the name Mildred. Now, I don't know if this is her name or someone connected with her. Right, okay. Right, I know there was a dementia or Alzheimer's condition with her because she's going one way and then she's turning back round and coming the other, and she's saying she's getting confused and she's showing me that, and I'm telling her it's everything's okay, and she's getting confused. She's a bit of a worrier. I know that. I feel that she's worried a lot. There's a lot of anxiety around her. And I feel that this is something that she would have carried through her life, a lot of worry. I know that I'm a worrier and I feel very, how can I put the word? I feel like people can outspeak me. So I'm the little mouse in the room, that kind of personality. Would you understand the Rachel? Would you understand the name Mildred as well then? Right, okay. But she's mentioning, right, okay. So I don't feel like Mildred was her. She's mentioning Mildred and she's saying about being in a care home, and Mildred was one of the people in there. Right, but she's saying Mildred wasn't very nice. She kept throwing things and she kept on, and she said she really worried about this lady because this lady could be quite aggressive, and she was verbally aggressive to the staff, and the the people, the residents were very, very aware of her, very, very nervous and anxious about her. Would you understand that the lady that she's mentioning about somebody being in a care home, Rachel, about the aggressive behaviour, because she's saying about how worrying it was, and she's saying, "Oh, I kept away from her. I did. I stayed away. I've seen her coming. I go the other way." That's what she's saying. But she's also mentioning that she liked to spend more time in her room than she did in the recreation room. She said she liked to spend more time. She had a lot of her own things around, and she said a lot of her own things have been bought from home. And she's showing me all different things that are around. She's mentioning a chair, and she's mentioning a lamp, and she's saying about that, and she's showing me, and she's very, very proud of her items that she's bought, that has been bought from home, and she's very, very, very protective of them. Yeah, she stayed in a room. Okay, because she's mentioning. Would you understand that, Rachel? That you took a lot of things from home to her room and made it very homely, so it felt very much like home. Because she's saying about lots of we look we took pictures and had plants from home. Okay. But so, because she's mentioning about people mentioning about putting familiar things around, and she's on about that, and she's saying thank you for that. She's also mentioning about that she wasn't much of a talker while she was in there. She's saying that she didn't talk a lot. She just kept to herself, and she said that she behaved herself. So, and she laughed. She's saying not like, and she's on about the other lady again. And she said this other lady would shout in the night and scream and shout and keep them all awake. And she's on about that too. And she's mentioning about how noisy the lady was. She's mentioning about that your right, the right, your rights were questioned and taken away. If that makes sense. She's on about your rights. So she's mentioning about your rights. So I feel like something that's either happened now or when mum passed at the beginning, there's something that somebody's trying to take your rights away. Wife's decision, thank you. Right, okay. And she's saying, don't ever, ever question it. Everything was right and then done in the right way and with the best love intentions. And she knows that. And she said that she knew that her safety was important and her safety was being compromised. That's what she mentioned about being at home. So she said it wasn't the right place for her. And she's saying that you did the right thing. That makes sense to you, Rachel. And she's on about you being the elder person. So whether you're an older daughter, older sibling, or something, because she's on about you as the oldest and you could make the decision. So whether that makes sense. She's also saying about September. She's on about a summery day in September, whatever that means. A summery day that's in September, and she's showing me butterflies and that. So whether you've been sat in your garden around that time and you've seen a butterfly and you've thought of mum, because she's saying, yeah, that was me. And she's mentioning that I know there's so much love coming your way from her. She's blowing you lots of kisses and she's saying, please give her one big squeeze from me and tell her how much I love her. And thank you for working with me, Rachel. 1st of September. Right. So she's bringing that and she's bringing that in. Absolutely lovely lady, got a beautiful aura and she is around you a lot. And I think you already know that, Rachel. So, right, so I've got a lady coming in now, and she's saying Mona. I don't know whether she's saying she was a Mona or that's a name. Uh, no, she's singing a song like Mona. So I feel like this song has a connection with this lady. Oh, okay, right. But at the same time, she's showing me Mona, the cartoon character or the Disney character as well. Mona, Trish Cook. Okay, thank you. I think I'm with you. Would you understand Gran being very, very um, fun loving? Like to laugh and a joke, like to be happy, always in high spirits. It wasn't very often that you've seen her down because she's saying to me, keep smart, and she's saying, pack up your troubles in your old kit bag, and she's singing and she's making everybody happy, everybody that stood here waiting to come through. She's keeping them well entertained. Would you understand Gran as being like that? because she's getting them all. See, but I don't know. Right now, she's picking up a saucepan and a wooden spoon, and she's banging on that like it's a drum, and everybody's laughing. And she's just such a character. She's got so much energy around her, and she's just wants to make everybody smile. That's how she's making me feel. Um, She's saying she hadn't got time for sadness. I know feel that in her earlier days when she was younger, she had a lot. There was a lot of poverty and a lot of worry around her life, and I feel that she come from um, a family with brothers and sisters, and they didn't have the best of everything. But she's saying it didn't matter. They never ever cared. It was the love that was there between them all that made the difference. And she's mentioning about that, and she's mentioning about collecting the coal and collecting, and she's saying about um, she's saying about the bags being so heavy, and she's showing me her dragging the bags, but she was worried because the road would rip the bottom of the bag and the coal would fall out, and then the bag would be short. And she's mentioning that. So she's saying that they always looked back to see if any coal had fell out. She's giving me that memory. She's also mentioning about the corner shop, and she's on about this corner shop, and she's like showing me, and it's got everything outside, all hardware, um, brooms, different things, everything like that. This corner shop sold everything, and she's on about that she used to ask there if there was any jobs, and she would do little jobs if she could earn a couple of pennies. That's what she's saying, and she's saying when she had the pennies, she would give them to her mum. She's mentioning that. And she's mentioning that this shop sold everything, all different things. You could get everything in there. And she's on about that. She's she's mentioning August to me as well. So August being either a passing, a birthday, or something else, but August being important as well. So she wants me to mention August. Um, But she's also mentioned about plastic pegs are absolutely rubbish, and she's saying throw the plastic ones away and get wooden, if that makes sense to you. Whether because she keeps on showing me plastic pegs springing as I'm trying to hang up the washing, and she's mentioning that. But she's also mentioning about clean white sheets being hung on the line and blowing in the wind, and she's saying about how clean and white that they are. So whether that's yourself, but she's on about that. She's mentioning about the clean white sheets. She used wooden pegs, yeah. Right, so she was mentioning about the plastic ones being awful. She was on about that. Um, I know Christmas is coming up, but she's on about some other celebration that's being planned, and she's on about that, and she's saying that she's going to be there, right knees up there. She's saying, we'll have her right knees up, and she's mentioning that. She's also mentioned about a pearl. So whether that makes sense, pearl being the name or being the actual stone. She's mentioning about that too, and she's getting that in. Right, okay. She's also mentioned about some kind of big warehouse too, and it's got a door, and she's mentioning about that, about the space. So whether you're planning on getting some sort of extra storage space or somebody's talking about that, she's mentioning about that. I know there's lots of love coming through. She's blowing you lots of kisses. She's saying that take care of your back. So whether you're having problems with your back, she said, take care of your back. So, and she's saying that she lifts far too much up. So whether you work or something and you're picking up heavy things, but that's what she mentions. I'm going to leave her love with you, and thank you so much for working with me. Right, we're at 56, ladies and gentlemen. I am not going to give another message because we won't have time. I just want you to know that there's lots and lots of love from the spirit world coming through to each and every one of you. I'm here again at 10 o'clock on Friday morning. Please join me if you can. I want you to know that your loved ones are never far away. They're just like as if they're in the next room, but they're always close to you and they're always supporting you. So please keep talking to them. They're always there for you. And if they can, they will show and give you the answers the best way they can. But you just need to look for them, because sometimes our eyes are closed and we don't really see. So please, with that, all of you, have an amazing day, have an amazing week, or weekend if I don't see you on Friday. And with that, so much love. Thank you very much.